Welcome to the 2021 Iron Pie Eating Contest, which is sponsored this year by Iron. We have 3 contestants here with us today. The first contestant is bromine, all the way from halogen. Bromine has an electronegativity of 2.96 and an atomic weight of 159.81 grams per mole. The second contestant with us today is ammonia, all the way from Haber-Bosch. Ammonia has a boiling point of negative 33 degrees Celsius and a pH between 11 and 13. She seems pretty adamant about not actually participating in the pie eating contest and instead anticipates standing on the sidelines. And lastly, today we have cyanide from soluble salts. Cyanide has a bitter almond odor and a toxicity of 3 milligrams per kilograms in mice. So what is going on when these ligands are making a bonding interaction in an octahedral field with the metal center? Ammonia is a sigma-only ligand, and when it makes a bonding interaction with the metal center, the T2G molecular orbitals are a non-bonding set of molecular orbitals, and there is an energy associated with the splitting of the T2G non-bonding molecular orbitals and the antibonding EG molecular orbitals called the desplitting energy or delta octahedron. Bromine is a pi donor or weak field ligand, and cyanide is a pi acceptor or strong field ligand. Both pi donor and pi acceptor ligands have the right symmetry to interact with the T2G orbitals on the metal, so pi interactions will change this from a non-bonding orbital set to an orbital set with more bonding or anti-bonding character. Pi donor ligands such as bromine interact with T2G non-bonding orbitals, and since the pi donor orbitals are lower in energy than the metal d orbitals, this causes the T2G molecular orbitals we associate with delta octahedron to become antibonding in nature, raising their energy and making the d-splitting energy smaller in magnitude when compared to sigma only. Pi acceptor ligands such as cyanide interact with T2G non-bonding orbitals, and since the pi acceptor orbitals are higher in energy than the metal d orbitals, this causes the T2G molecular orbitals associated with delta octahedron to become bonding in nature, lowering their energy and making the d-splitting energy larger in magnitude when compared to sigma only. So if you have a metal such as iron and have different iron complexes, one with only bromine ligands, one with only ammonia ligands, and one with only cyanide ligands, the hexabromo iron complex will have the smallest magnitude of d-splitting, whereas the hexacyanoferrate complex will have the largest magnitude of d-splitting.
No protein. Where's iron?
Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared.
A few moments later.
Alright, bromine, what happened out there?
Look, Hans, let me just say that when I interact with iron, I'm just not that hungry for pie. Okay, I don't have any low-lying empty p orbitals to stomach it. I'm a halogen, you know. I come from the right side of the periodic table, where p orbital energy and electron count is high. Where am I supposed to put all this pie if I don't have any empty p orbitals to accept it? Iron expects way too much from me. Like, I'm big, brother, but I'm not that big.
Okay, so how do you feel coming down from the competition?
Not gonna lie, bro, kinda hungry. When I bond with iron later, not eating any of that pie is definitely gonna create a smaller gap between our T2G and EG orbitals. RIP in peace, brother. It's the same with all my bros from halogen. Fluorine, she competed last year, chlorine, iodine. None of us can stomach all that pie because our p orbitals are already full. Honestly unfair, I'm not gonna lie. Every year we're always outgassed by ligands like cyanide with their empty low-lying p orbitals.
Oh, so people from halogen have competed in the past?
Hans, it's always the same story. We end up giving the pie back because we're not hungry, and that just destabilizes iron's T2G orbitals. Let me just say this. tiny competitors like fluorine don't impact iron as much. They don't have big orbitals like me. Their tiny twig orbitals just don't overlap as much with iron. I hate to even admit this, but iodine might have orbitals that are a little bigger than mine, with better overlap. But they just destabilize iron's d orbitals more. You should see the difference between their T2G and EG orbitals. Absolutely tiny.
Well, thanks for coming on. Better luck next year.
Thank you.
Well, from your minimal participation in the contest, it's no surprise you didn't perform well. Anything to say to your fans?
Well, I didn't actually come here to do anything. My mom told me she'd give me 20 bucks if I showed up. So, I don't eat pie. It's like totally gross.
Okay. Any idea why you don't like something that genuinely everyone else loves?
Well, as a sigma-only ligand, I just don't eat pie. I don't have the appetite for it. It's just who I am. I guess I have like a really slow metabolism or something, and I just never have the room for it, so.
Maybe you'll grow out of it. Probably not. Thanks for showing up anyways, I guess.
Whatever. Bye.
Hans here. You seem very confident from the start. Did this victory come as a surprise to you?
Look, Hams, the win was never in doubt. I come from a long-standing dynasty of winners. Strong field ligands have never lost with competition, and we never will. My cousin CO usually takes the crown, but he couldn't make it this year, and I knew it was my time to shine.
This is the most important competition of the year. How do you prepare yourself to perform on the stage?
The other contestants might need to train and prepare, but I was born with something they don't have, and that's just talent. There's no way that they can compete with my pie-accepting orbitals. It's just not in their nature. I'll put it in simple terms for you. When I bond with iron, I can just feel our d orbitals getting further apart, and I'm just fiending for those pi electrons. Even when my orbitals get so full that it's tearing my insides apart, there's just nothing stopping me from getting that pi.
Considering this is your 83rd straight victory for strong field ligands, do you think any other ligands have a shot at the title next year?
Absolutely not. We're coming every year to disrespect these other ligands, and there's no better feeling than being a champion strong field ligand. And there's no changing that anytime soon. Alright, see you next year, Hams.
Thank you for coming.
I actually like that.